Good morning, students. Welcome to Sri Ramanja Vidya Mandir, a temple for learning. Children, in previous class, I explained about semiconductors. Okay, we have started from solid children. If we consider matter, matter is again classified as three types, classified into three types: solids, liquids, and gases. Okay, so basing on energy levels, we divided that solid into again three parts. See, children, matter. Matter is further classified into three types: solids, liquid, and gaseous state. Okay. So here, if you consider atom, see children, in an atom there will be nucleus, which is of complete positively charged body. Around this one, electrons used to orbit. Okay. So here electrons levels are different, children. If we consider outermost orbital, all these electrons are at one energy level. If we consider the orbital which is orbit near nucleus, which is near to the nucleus, it will have some another set of energy level, all those electrons. Okay. So here the electrons which are there at the outermost orbital, we refer to those electrons as what, children? Valence electrons or free electrons. These electrons are ready to participate in conduction process, children. Okay, these are the electrons which are ready to participate in conduction process. Clear? Yesterday I discussed about in detail, children. So once observe, all those electrons which are there in valence orbital, means at the outermost orbital, those electron levels, basing on the energy level, we classified that one as valency band. Band in the sense which represents energy level. Okay, in that some number of electrons are there, and whenever those electrons, after getting ionization energy, they come out of that orbital and they participate in the conduction process. So these electrons now should get the some more energy and they should enter into conduction band. As long as electrons are in valency band, children, they do not move. Okay, they just orbit around that nucleus. That's it. Okay, whenever those electrons are coming out of that orbit, they will participate in this conduction process. Means flow of electrons, which is nothing but electric current. Clear now? So now, as soon as these electrons gets that excess energy, they will get into some another energy level. That level is indicated by this band, which is nothing but what, children? Conduction band. Okay, what is this? Conduction band. Okay. So here, the gap between this conduction band and valency band is what, children? Forbidden band. Forbidden gap. Electrons which are there in valency band, they should cross this forbidden gap, children. Only then they can enter into conduction band. They can participate in this conduction process. Okay. So here, this basing on this forbidden gap. See, children, if gap is less between conduction band and valency band, like this, ideally there won't be any gap, children, for few materials. If there is no gap, these electrons can easily they can enter into conduction band, no, children. So conduction process is easy. There is no loss of energy here. Electrons can easily enter into that conduction band from valency band. Okay. So these type of materials comes under the category of conductors. Now suppose if forbidden gap is considered, children, valency band, conduction band, and here there is forbidden gap. This gap must be overcome by these electrons, children. They should jump. So here we need to give some excess energy. Comparing to the conductors, while coming to this type of materials, we should provide some excess energy so that they can enter into conduction band and they can participate in conduction process. Clear? So these type of materials comes under what? Semiconductors. Suppose if that gap is very higher, okay, between conduction band and valency band. More forbidden gap, children. Okay, so here the electrons need more energy in order to getting into that. This one is valency band, children. Valency band and conduction band. So here, in order to jump electrons which are there in valency band to conduction band, they require more amount of energy. Usually the process is very difficult. Here in this case, the conduction process is very difficult. Okay, we should provide 5 electron volt nearly. Here, in order to jump, we require only 1 electron volt. So if we compare these two children, here the conduction process is easy in semiconductors. Okay, comparing to these two here, no electron volt required, children, no excess energy required. They can easily jump. Okay, even at room temperature also, okay, those electrons get energy in the form of heat energy, and they can participate, jump into that conduction band. Electrons which are there in valency band, if there is any temperature variation at room temperature or above room temperature, they require means that heat energy whatever is present, it will be converted as ionization energy for the electrons, and they will automatically jump into conduction band. Artificially means naturally this thing can happen. Here this process, while coming to conductors, this centering of electrons from valency band to conduction band occurs naturally. We no need to give any additional energy for that. Okay, so comparing to these two semiconductors and conductors, here conduction is easy. Okay, so for semiconductors we need to provide some excess energy. For these materials are insulators, children. Here conduction process is very difficult. Okay, insulators in the sense we can take example wood, plastic, mica, so these type of things. Okay, conductors means, children, example copper, iron. Okay, which can easily in which the electrons can easily transfer. Coming to semiconductors, mostly used semiconductors, children, silicon and germanium. Okay, so that is the reason we should consider forbidden gap also, that length between valency band and conduction band. Band is nothing but the energy level only, children. Okay, valency band in the sense, in that band all the electrons which are there which are having that type of energy, they all comes under that category. Okay, next, see, children, access points means in detail I discussed in the previous class regarding all this. This is just overview, children. So here we are talking about semiconductor. Semiconductor. Okay, children, semi means we can take up to some moment or take some half conductor and half insulator. Okay, means at room temperature they are insulators only. They work as insulator. At room temperature they work as insulator. Example, if we consider copper and silicon. Copper is a conductor, no children. So at room temperature it acts as conductor only. Okay, but silicon at room temperature act as insulator. Means we should provide some excess energy for that in order to participate in that conduction process. Okay. See children, usually semiconductor, the chip look like this. This one is a processor children. Usually in computers, whenever we are about to check computer configuration, the first thing we look at processor. Dual core processor, single core processor, i3, i5, i7. Okay, that processor is a semiconductor. Okay, and the construction is like this children. Actually the thing is, these chips, this one is made up of silicon and germanium. Usually when you open that one, you can see all sort of chips they are like this children. Okay, these are made up of silicon and germanium because those materials are easily available and very cheap, less cost, and programming also very simple. Okay. In upcoming days, those semiconductors also going to replace with quantum mechanics children. Okay, as soon as the quantum mechanics come, all these again they going to vanish. Previously we used to have CRTs, cathode ray tubes, for display. Now we have diodes, which are nothing but semiconductors only. Even on computers also now what we are using, semiconductors. These in upcoming days, instead of these semiconductors, we gonna use nanotubes. Further it gonna be replaced with quantum mechanics, means by using light energy the information is going to travel. Upcoming days, after 100 or 120 years children. Okay, so here semiconductors are materials which have a conductivity between conductors and non-conductors or insulators. See children, now I said they lie between the region, like lie between the category of conductors and insulators, not completely conductors, not completely insulators also. That's why semiconductor. Okay, so semiconductors are materials which have a conductivity between conductors, generally metals, and non-conductors or insulators such as most ceramics. Okay, next, semiconductors can be pure elements such as silicon or germanium, or compounds such as gallium arsenide or cadmium selenide. These also we use children, gallium arsenide and cadmium selenide. This one is a compound, this one is pure. Silicon and germanium are pure. Okay, gallium arsenide and cadmium selenide, both are what? Compounds. Okay, these are examples children. Next, holes and electrons in semiconductors. See children, this terminology is very important. Holes and electrons in semiconductors. Holes and electrons are the type of charge carriers. These are what children? Holes and electrons. Holes and electrons are types of charge carriers. Holes and electrons are what? Charge carriers. What they will and accountable for flow of current in semiconductors. See children, this entire thing is regarding flow of current, flow of electrons only, which is nothing but current. Clear? So here, if you take conductors, flow of current we used to consider like flow of electrons. Here also means it's flow of charge actually, not specifically electron. It is a flow of charge, is electric current. So here also the charge is carried. Okay, here in semiconductors also charge is carried. Flow of charges is there, but it is done with what? It is done by holes and electrons. Holes and electrons. Holes and electrons, what they will do children? They are charge carriers. Okay, due to those only means which are charge carriers, there is a flow of charge which is nothing but electric current. Clear? That is only in semiconductors children, only in semiconductors, not in conductors. This one is in semiconductors only. In conductors we no need to discuss about holes, entirely it is regarding electrons and all. Next, holes. Holes are what, children? Valence electrons. Holes are nothing but valence electrons, are the positively charged electric charge carrier, whereas electrons are negatively charged carriers. Both electrons and holes equal in magnitude but opposite in polarity. See, children, what are those terms? Holes and electrons. Okay. Holes are positively charged. Electrons are negatively charged. Okay, but here charge of hole is equal to charge of electron. Charge of hole is equal to charge of electron, but they are both equal in only magnitude, children, but opposite in direction. Opposite in direction. Okay, charge, it is regarding only charge, amount of charge. Usually these holes are nothing but valence electrons only, children. These are what? Valence electrons. Next, semiconductors. Further classified into two types: intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductor. Clear, children? Semiconductors further classified as intrinsic, okay, and extrinsic. Intrinsic in the sense pure form of semiconductors, children, like a germanium, silicon and all. Next, extrinsic means composition. We will add impurities for that, which are nothing but compounds we can take. Intrinsic means pure form. Okay, extrinsic means compounds. We use we mix with some other impurities. Okay, and in extrinsic semiconductor, children, again there are two types: N type and P type. In order to make N-type semiconductor, we should take one pure semiconductor and we should mix with pentavalent. Okay, we should mix with pentavalent impurity. Why we are preferring only pentavalent impurity means, children, N-type. N-type means it carries electrons. Number of electrons is more. Okay, in order to make a semiconductor which have more number of electrons compared to the holes, we should have what? Pentavalent impurities. Okay. Next, P type. P in the sense holes, children. Number of holes is more. In P type semiconductor, presence of number of holes is maximum. In order to make that, we require positive charge carriers. In order to do that, we are preferring what? Trivalent impurities. Trivalent. Okay. Next, donor impurity is electron, children. Here, donor impurity is holes. Here, electrons. Clear? See, children. Semiconductor. Okay, here it is further classified into two types, that is intrinsic and extrinsic. Okay, intrinsic means what, children? Pure form. This one is a compound. See, children, our entire discussion now is on extrinsic only. Suppose if you take pure form, the density of holes and density of electrons both are equal. Means the field of application is very less. Okay, children, means the field means in applications will be reduced. Okay. So whenever we are mixing with some other impurities, its features will change. One type of semiconductor contains more number of electrons, like n type. N type semiconductor and p type. In n type semiconductor, children, number of electrons is very greater than number of holes. In p type, number of holes is very greater than number of electrons. Clear? Means in n type, number of electrons is more. Electrons transfer takes means that semiconductor can donate electrons. Okay, this semiconductor donate electrons. What about p type? It can donate what? Holes. Here number of electrons is more. Okay. In order to make it, we used to mix with pentavalent impurities. Okay. So here we used to mix with trivalent impurities. See, this addition of impurities and making a pure form of semiconductor to impure form of semiconductor, this process is called doping. Taking a pure semiconductor and addition of impurities, this process is called what? Doping. Doping is advantageous, children. We can suppose if you take pure form, applications are very less. We can't apply, means flexibility is very less. But if we can impure form, as per our requirement, we can change its features. Okay, basing on our requirement of application. Next, intrinsic semiconductor, children. An intrinsic type of semiconductor material is made to be very pure chemically, and it is made up of only single type of element. Intrinsic means what, children? That semiconductor is made up of only single type of element. Extrinsic semiconductor. Conductivity of semiconductors can be greatly improved. See, children, conductivity of semiconductors can be greatly improved. Conductivity can be what? Improved by introducing a small number of suitable replacement atoms called impurities. Okay. So here what we are doing, children, in order to increase its conductivity, we are introducing some suitable atoms for that corresponding material, so that its conductivity will rise, and the addition of atoms, those atoms whichever are there, those are called impurities, and the process of this addition of atoms is called what? Doping. Okay. Doping means addition of those impurities. Clear? Next, the process of adding of impurities is called what, children? Doping. Usually one atom in 10 power 7 is replaced by a dopant atom in the doped semiconductor. Usually how much, children? One atom in 10 power 7. One atom in 10 power 7 is replaced by a dopant atom. Dopant atom in the sense, children, the impurity what we are going to use. Okay. Yeah, see, children, suppose if you take silicon, here these are gaps. These gaps will be filled with what? Free electrons. Whenever we are keeping together like this, children, where there is a gap, there the electrons use it to jump. Okay, suppose if electron is moving from here, hole will be created, that is positive, that is nothing but hole. If an electron jump from its own place to some other place, hole will be created, empty space. That space is nothing but what? Hole. Clear? So here wherever there is space, means see here, in these holes some new electrons will be added. Whenever any electron is jumping into these spaces, hole will be created. Clear? This is a continuous process. Yeah, extrinsic semiconductor will be further classified as what, children? P type and N type. Yeah, see, children, here this one is silicon, and what is impurity, children? Pb. And here, since it is having excess electron, this electron is donated to this silicon. I shown now in the earlier picture. It is having an empty space. Silicon is having empty space, right? Okay. Silicon is having empty space. That can be filled not only by combining all the silicon atoms, children, by addition of Pb also. Since Pb is having some extra electron, okay, that is given to this silicon here. Okay, and it is nothing but donor. Donating, donor. Okay. Silicon is having empty space, right? Silicon is having empty space, means it can what you call, it can accept. Clear? So the atoms which are able to accept the electrons is nothing but acceptors. Electrons, the elements or atoms, you can take. Atoms which can donate electrons are nothing but donors, which can receive electrons are nothing but acceptors. Clear? See, children, n type, all are negatives. Okay, this one is hole. See, children, here hole is there. Okay, sorry, electron is there, positive charge hole is there. Now what will happen, children? Obviously, electron try to reach hole. Okay, suppose if you consider this one as positive and negative charges, positive and negative charges, what's going to happen, children? Positive attracts towards negative. Similarly, negative also attracts towards positive. Okay, means the movement of charges are taking place here. So in this picture, n type contains what? More number of electrons. P type contains more number of positive charges. N type contains more number of negative charges. P type contains more number of positive charges. So here what will happen? Electrons transfer into P type, holes transfer into N type. Yes or no? Holes are, I already said, positively charged. Electrons are negatively charged. So mutual attraction taking place and exchange of movement of charges also taking place here. So this movement of electrons is nothing but electron diffusion. This movement of electrons is nothing but what? Electron diffusion. The moment of holes is nothing but hole diffusion. Hole diffusion and electron diffusion. That moment of electrons or negatively charged particles is nothing but electron diffusion. Means it is direction of electron diffusion. Okay. Next, hole diffusion means the direction of movement of those holes. Clear? See, children, here what's going to happen means whenever you combine P type and N type together, some electrons will jump into electrons jump into P type, holes jump into N type. Understood? Electrons jump into P type, holes jump into N type. Due to this, what's going to happen means a depletion region is created. A region is created. Okay, what it is? A depletion region. Clear? See here, I will explain in detail. Let us take P type and N type, children. These are P type, N type. This is P type, children. Okay, this one is N type. In N type, electrons is more. In P type, holes are more. So here what's going to happen means exchange of electrons taking place now. Electron comes here, proton comes here. Electron jumps here, hole jumps here, and electron come here, and hole will jump here, and electron here, and next hole also come like that. So here what's going to happen? In this region, some electrons, some holes will come. Okay, in the opposite region, holes will form. The region which is containing electrons and holes both, that region is called depletion region. This depletion region forms due to exchange of holes and electrons. When this one takes place, whenever there is combination of p type and n type semiconductor together. Clear, children? So further the discussion I will continue in our next lecture. So this is regarding a basic thing regarding a PN diode, children. We can say now we entered into what? PN diode. Okay, these are all uses, children. PN junction diode. Tomorrow, sorry children, in the next class I will discuss regarding this importance of semiconductors, and I will start junction diodes, transistors, and a very interesting topic is there, children, in the upcoming class. Okay, until then, thank you and have a nice day.